everyone. I hope everyone had a great Father's Day. I say that to all the fathers out there and to all the families in general. I had a very nice talk with my dad. And I think by now I told everyone that he lives in Jupiter, Florida, which is by the West Palm Beach area, even though he's originally from this area. And so is my stepmom, who is like the best real mom. Yay. Hard to believe they've been married almost, I think they've been married, I'm going to say they've been married, almost 35 years, not quite. And my mom and dad was married for about 28, 29 years when they got divorced, so. Wow, 2 long marriages, that is great. That's a great generational, It would be nice if people today would do the same, Can't really say anything. Been married twice myself. But I'm not here to talk about that. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to say when I was having the talk with my dad today, and we started talking about UFOs, and we have talked about that kind of thing before. He goes around, kind of, but I mean, he does believe, of course, the UFO thing. He just doesn't know if he totally believes they're aliens. And if there are aliens, he thinks it's either possibly angels and or demons. And I, of course, think you can't just say that there are people like us and maybe aliens out there that don't look anything like us. But why would we only be the only ones here on Earth? That's why, why is Earth the only one that's filled with, Just because the Bible doesn't mention life on other planets doesn't mean there isn't life on other planets. Maybe the Bible was written for Earth, not for those on other planets. Or maybe people misread it like we know they often do. Anyway, I'm also not going to make a video about that kind of thing. Just thought I'd add that in there. But I was talking about the incident he told me, and I know I told it on an episode here, a video. First, let me restate what I had experienced when I was in Germany, and the many times I was out there watching the skies. I saw what looked like a very bright, shining star or planet. And it was just, of course, it was still, but And I was looking at it for a long time. All of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, it started flashing at me like a strobe light. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, of course I wanted to go inside and get someone, but at the same time I knew if I did that, it probably wouldn't be doing that when I came back. So I just stayed there in awe. Because that's that kind of thing that you look for. I wish I would have had a camera or something, video or something, because that would have been, and I wonder how many other people, out there have experienced that. Anyway, it did that about 10 or 15 times, and then it stopped, and then it went back to the same stationary, but still just as bright. Now, there are military bases around there. As a matter of fact, there was American military base not too far from there. So, could that have been some kind of technology? And my dad, and I told my dad this, and of course he believes in these, kinds of things. And he had told me, and this was a long time, and he retold me the story today, about where he had a similar experience. This is like, I told you, I think I said in another video, he has also a second place in a little town an hour away from here. called Prosperity. Like, I love that name. And this is right at the time when he was first, like, starting to build that little place he has out there. And he was out there by himself, and he had a huge part of the sky, and just nothing but stars. And he said all of a sudden, all the little stars in different areas, and this is what I missed before, I thought he just meant one big star like mine, but there, like, all this, quite a few little stars. He thought they first were fireflies, but they started flashing like strobe lights. Beep, 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 you know. And then all of a sudden, and I didn't have this part, he heard like all kinds of weird animal sounds, like monkeys, wolves, like he said, like the bells of hell, like all kinds of wild things. I don't know if aliens would do that. And I was saying, you know, maybe it was government military technology. Of course, where did they get it from? You know, you have to worry about that, you know, wonder about that. And we both agreed Eglin Air Force Base is right, you know, it's only like 40, 50 minutes, maybe an hour away from where I live now. And my dad told me they do all kinds of weird things in Eglin Air Force Base. And then I told him about the, that I read that there is an Orion base in Eglin, like probably down below. And he said he wouldn't doubt it, you know. So I thought that was a really interesting conversation. Of course, he's like, does the Christian thing, and I have nothing against that, where he believes in the rapture. And he says, I just don't want you to, and everyone to start thinking that if the aliens or something, or people are all of a sudden gone, that it's aliens taking them away. He wants people to believe, of course, in the rapture. But I think if aliens would take people, I like to think they would, you know, maybe good ones. Which reminds me, I wanted to say that, I might as well put it in this one. Back in 1996, at the end of 1996, I think, no, 95, beginning of 96, I had a really strange dream. Yes, it was a dream, but it seemed like it was obviously more than a dream, almost like it was a prophecy vision thing. But yes, I had it during the dream time, where at the time that my husband, you know, my ex-husband now, at the time, and my oldest son, of course he was little at the time, they were all in the dream along with his parents. We were all like at a lake, a sea, something like that, like maybe that was the North Sea, I don't know where we were supposed to be at, some big area anyway like that, and we were having like a picnic or something. And all of a sudden, these people came in like a boat or ship that was like a Viking ship. They were tall, good-looking, blonde people, like the Nordics maybe, I don't know. At the time I didn't think about, you know, I haven't yet read about all these different alien supposed races, but they seemed like that type of thing. And they said, you should come with us now. Things are going to happen on the earth and you don't want to be here. So we went with them. And they, all of a sudden, I all of a sudden remembered just that we were in this big ship, like a spaceship. My dad was even there, and I was surprised. And a lot of people were there. And it seemed like we were there for no longer than maybe an hour or two. And then they said, you can go back now. Everything is, you know, is on Earth is, you know, it already happened. It's safe to go back now. You're either allowed to go back in the same life you had, or you can choose a new life. So I just chose a new life. And I chose a the incarnation I guess I chose was like a man. And I went there and I was like, all of a sudden I was grown up, and all of a sudden I must have been around the same place where that happened, and it's like all of a sudden I remembered everything. But it was a really strange, like, dream, you know. Does it mean anything? I don't know, you know, but it just kind of reminded me of that when my dad was like, well, if they take you up, you know. And I do believe that there's a possibility that sometimes they can, you know, help you like that. I think that sometimes I don't know if they would be allowed to or not, but if they are, you know, and I get a chance to go up to an alien, but it would only happen if I really knew and felt deep within me that it was safe and they're not just trying to, like, be deceitful or something, you know. Because I bet that could happen too. You don't want to end up going up on a ship and and they want you for supper or harvesting you or something. Like on that movie, oh my gosh, I have it, I don't even remember what it's called right now, but yeah, you don't want that. Anyway, I just wanted to say that, a few words there, and yeah, it's like, in some place it's already Monday, so hope everyone did have a good Father's Day, and everyone has a great Monday and a great week ahead. And I want to say, over and out.